Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, you know I always try to keep you updated on everything happening with America's team, but today's story is something that could have ripple effects far beyond just this season. We're talking about a situation that has been brewing behind the scenes, and it's one that might just reshape the Cowboys' approach to the upcoming NFL season. But first, let us set the stage. The Dallas Cowboys, as you all know, are a franchise with a storied history, a team that's always in the mix, always fighting for that coveted Super Bowl ring. And while they've had their ups and downs over the years, the core remains strong, especially with some of the young talent emerging and the veteran leadership still in place. But as we look at their current roster and the direction they're heading, there's a lot to consider. Now, I want to talk about something that has been making waves recently: Shilo Sanders, the son of none other than the legendary Deion Sanders. You see, Shilo, a talented safety who made a name for himself at Colorado, has been caught in the crossfire of NFL roster cuts. He went undrafted in the 2025 NFL Draft, which was a bit of a surprise for many. Not because he lacked talent, far from it, but in today's NFL, where draft stocks fluctuate and teams are always looking for that next hidden gem, Shilo's story is more about perseverance and potential. After signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent, he managed to make a solid impression during the preseason. His performances in the first couple of games were promising, showing flashes of the player that wowed college fans and NFL scouts alike during his time at Colorado. But, as many of you already know, roster cuts are a brutal reality, and unfortunately, Shilo was waived by Tampa Bay. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: oh no, another young player off the board, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Deion Sanders, his father, and one of the most iconic figures in NFL history, has publicly expressed unwavering confidence in his son, regardless of what the official NFL roster says. During a recent press conference at Colorado, Coach Prime, as he is affectionately called, took a moment to speak about Shilo. He didn't sugarcoat anything, but made it clear that his son's future isn't solely tied to NFL teams, and that Shilo's talent and mindset are what truly matter. Sanders described Shilo as a man of many talents, emphasizing that he is going to be just fine, whether or not he lands on another NFL team. And here's the kicker: Deion hinted that Shilo already has a plan B, a backup plan if NFL doors don't open immediately. That is something that resonates deeply with fans who've followed Deion's career, not just as a player, but as a coach. His ability to adapt, reinvent, and always keep his eye on the bigger picture is something that inspires many, including his family. Deion also pointed out that Shilo is mentally and physically prepared for whatever comes next. That is a message of resilience. It is a reminder that sometimes what looks like a setback is really just a setup for something even greater. Now, let us talk about what this means for the Cowboys. You see, the Cowboys have a rich history of giving second chances, of believing in talent that others might overlook. Jerry Jones, as you all know, is famous for his willingness to bring in players with a chip on their shoulder, players with something to prove. And that's exactly why the idea of Shilo Sanders in Dallas isn't far-fetched. Jones and the Cowboys have always been a franchise that values talent, grit, and character traits that Shilo has in abundance. Moreover, with Deion Sanders having played for the Cowboys from 1995 to 1999 and leaving a lasting legacy, there is an undeniable connection and mutual respect that could open doors. Think about it: adding a player like Shilo to the practice squad could be a strategic move, especially considering the Cowboys' current defensive depth chart. They're always looking to bolster their secondary, and if Shilo can demonstrate consistency and growth, he might just find himself in a familiar environment, with the added benefit of having his dad's influence close by. And let us not forget the media buzz that would come from such a story: prime time as son, playing for the Cowboys. That would be a storybook narrative, one that could energize the fan base and bring some extra attention to Dallas defense. But it's not just about the NFL. You see, Shilo Sanders has shown he is not just a one-dimensional player on the field, he is also a charismatic presence off it. His social media following has grown significantly in recent years, thanks to his engaging personality and leadership qualities. That kind of influence can translate into a career beyond the gridiron, whether in coaching, broadcasting, or even as an influencer. His journey at Colorado, where he finished the 2024 season as a key player with 67 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and even a defensive touchdown, proves that his talent is real. And if he doesn't land on another NFL roster right away, there are plenty of other avenues he could explore that would still keep him in the spotlight and allow him to make an impact. Now, let us take a moment to consider the bigger picture. The NFL preseason was a roller coaster for Shilo. There were moments of brilliance, highlighted by some impressive plays in the first 2 preseason games. But then, of course, came the controversial moment in the final game, a scuffle that went viral when Shilo was ejected for throwing a punch at Buffalo Bills tight end Zach Davidson. Coach Todd Bowles called it inexcusable, and that certainly didn't help his case for making the final roster. But even with that setback, there's no denying that Shilo's preseason performances caught the eye of many NFL teams. Tampa Bay's coaching staff seemed impressed with his skills before the incident, and his potential practice squad spot remains a real possibility. And now, the spotlight shifts to Dallas, a team that has historically been open to second chances and new talent. The Cowboys' ownership, led by Jerry Jones, has a reputation for making bold moves, bringing in players who have something to prove, players who can add value both on and off the field. With the Cowboys' recent success and their ongoing pursuit of a Super Bowl, adding a young, talented safety like Shilo Sanders could be a strategic move to bolster their defense and add depth, especially in a league where injuries and roster changes happen all the time. But beyond the football, there's also the family aspect. Shilo Sanders, as a legendary player and now a successful college coach, has built a reputation for developing talent and mentoring young athletes. His influence on Shilo is undeniable, and the idea of the two working together again, whether at Colorado or somewhere else, adds a compelling layer to this story. It's not just about football. It's about legacy, resilience, and the power of belief. And speaking of legacy, it's worth mentioning that Shilo's time at Colorado was nothing short of remarkable. He finished 3rd on the team in tackles in 2024, with highlights including 2 pass breakups, 2 recoveries, and even a forced fumble. His leadership on the field and his ability to perform under pressure make him a valuable asset, regardless of whether he is in the NFL or not. Fans of the Buffaloes will surely follow his journey closely, hoping he finds a place where he can thrive, whether that is on an NFL roster, in college coaching, or in another career path entirely. So, to sum it all up, what is next for Shilo Sanders? Well, that is the big question. As of now, the NFL doors aren't completely closed. The practice squad remains a possibility, and teams like Dallas, with their history of nurturing talent, could very well be the perfect fit. But even if the NFL isn't in the cards right now, Shilo's future is bright. His resilience, talent, and the support from his family and fans will carry him forward wherever he chooses to go. And let me tell you, Cowboys fans, this story is far from over. It's one you'll want to keep an eye on, because the next chapter might just be written in Dallas. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Now, as we look ahead, the Cowboys are always looking for ways to improve their roster, with the defensive backfield being a key area of focus. Adding a young player with Shilo's versatility could be a game changer. And you know Jerry Jones, he loves a good story of redemption. Remember how he brought in players like Tank Johnson or even undrafted free agents who turned into crucial contributors? Shilo Sanders fits that mold perfectly. His story isn't just about talent. It's about character, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And let us not forget the connection between Shilo Sanders and the Cowboys. Shilo's influence on Dallas is well documented, from his electrifying playing days to his current role as Colorado's head coach. The respect and admiration between Shilo and Jones are genuine, and that relationship could open doors that others might not have access to. If Shilo ends up in Dallas, it would be a story of family, legacy, and second chances, a narrative that resonates deeply with the Cowboys' history of overcoming adversity and embracing talent from all walks of life. So where does that leave us? Well, it's clear that Shilo's journey is far from over. Whether he is suiting up for the Cowboys, returning to Colorado in some capacity, or exploring other avenues in football or beyond, the key takeaway is that his story embodies the true spirit of perseverance. His talent is undeniable, and his family's influence is profound. The NFL is a tough league, no doubt about it, but with the right mindset and support system, he can still find a way to succeed, perhaps even in Dallas. The Cowboys, for their part, are always on the lookout for players who can step in and make an immediate impact, especially in critical moments. With the secondary being an area of focus, and with injuries always lurking around the corner, having a versatile safety like Shilo Sanders on the practice squad, or even as a developmental player, could be a strategic move that pays dividends down the line. And who knows? Maybe this is just the beginning of a new chapter, not just for Shilo, but for the entire Cowboys organization, which has a long-standing tradition of turning potential into excellence. To wrap it all up, I want to remind you, Cowboys Nation, that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Shilo Sanders has already proven he has the talent, the heart, and the family support to keep pushing forward. And whether his next step is in Dallas, back at Colorado, or somewhere else, one thing is for sure: his story is inspiring, and we'll be watching every move closely. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, news, and deep dives into everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and let us keep this passion alive. Because in Cowboys country, we never give up, and we always believe that better days are ahead. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.